everybody, Happy New Year! I'm sending this video a little later than I usually do, so thank you for your patience. I've been a little bit under the weather, and so I had to practice what I know I talked to so many of you guys about in our visits, which is just really being in tune with my body and how I'm feeling, and honoring and acknowledging where I'm at. And so being sick, I had to slow down a little bit. I had to, just let myself heal and rest and maybe do a little less than I normally do, so that I can bounce back quicker. I'm feeling better today. I'm not 100%, but because I was able to slow down and take care of myself a little bit, I feel like I wound up quicker than I would have been if I had forced it. I'm here and I'm ready to provide our first yoga class of this new year. So welcome everybody. And on that note, we will get started. We'll get started in the child's pose today. So all you need is your mat. So child's pose again is big toes coming together. Knees going as wide as is comfortable for you so that you can sit back on your heels or just in that direction. Some of our bums might be lifted in the air like so, and that's okay. But if you can't sit back, go ahead and do that, stretching your arms out in front of you and letting your forehead come to rest on the mat. So this is our child's pose. This is another kind of home base pose. So while we're sitting here, I'll invite everyone to start to tune into your breath. So drawing in maybe a longer, slower, deeper breath through your nose. And maybe we sigh out the mouth these first couple times. Maybe even making some sound. Let's do that again. Big breath in through the nose. And then sigh out the mouth. If you're able to breathe through your nose, which I know many of us struggle with this time of year. And then, when it feels right, you can just start to find your own rhythm. In through your nose and out through your nose. If possible. And mouth is okay too. Beautiful. And as we start to connect to the breath, you can also start to connect to whatever you brought to your mat with you today, whether it's a certain feeling or whatever thoughts are going on in your head. Just kind of doing a scan inside and outside, maybe noticing some physical sensations if we're feeling tired or sore or tight anywhere. And just acknowledging whatever is coming up for you. And also acknowledging that whatever is coming up for you is absolutely okay. You made it here, and all parts of you are welcome during this practice. You don't have to do any kind of way, and all we have to do is keep breathing and doing our best. So on that note, let's use an inhale to start to walk our hands over to the left. So you can kind of palm down. It's almost like you could pick up your belly and chest and lay it over your left knee or in that direction. Again, letting your head relax when you get there. Taking some deep breaths into the right side of the body here, stretching it with every big inhale. And then settling into this pose on the exhale. Let's take one more breath like that, all the way in. Completing your exhale. And then next breath in, let's walk it to the other side. So just palm by palm, we'll start to walk over to the right. It's almost like you could pick up your torso and lay it over that right thigh, bowing the head. Feeling so good about your choice to show up today for you, to spend some time with you, moving and breathing. No matter what you're coming to your mat with, or no matter what's going on in your life, this can only help us. It can only help us approach all of those things with a little more calm, perhaps, maybe a little more level-headedness. Then we can start to inhale back through center. And from here, we'll use our palms again to kind of press ourselves back this time so that we can come to sitting on the heels. I'm going to spin around just so you can see. Oh, the head's cut off. That's okay. So sitting on the heels. And sometimes I like to tuck my toes behind me when I sit on the heels to stretch the feet. So either way is fine. And we'll just start to bring some circles through our neck. So your hands can be on your lap. As you drop your chin to your chest, and then inhale, ear over one shoulder. Ooh, I'm getting a big pull in my chest today. Exhale, chin back down through center. And then inhale, other side. Just take a feel like that to your own breath rhythm. Exhaling, chin drops down. Inhale, ear over one shoulder. I encourage you to find your own way to do this, and a way that feels really good. So your own pace, kind of luxuriating in this nice movement to stretch our neck and shoulders, which I know it's so tight for so many of us. I've been laying down a lot lately, so I'm feeling a lot in my neck and shoulders today. Yeah, awesome. And then let's inhale, open the arms wide. Turn up the chin. Exhale, left palm comes down outside your left hip as right arm comes up over here. So I'm taking a side bend. My arm is up there, you just can't see it. And as we're in the side bend, you might, every inhale, think about spinning your chest a little bit more towards the ceiling, maybe even looking up in that direction. Finding the breath always in every movement. Letting our breath be our guide. We can inhale, come back up through center, arms open wide. Maybe gazing up, and then exhale, other side. So right palm comes down now as left arm comes up overhead. Same thing, we'll pause. Enjoying the stretch. And again, I challenge you to find a way to enjoy it. Maybe it means backing off a little bit. Maybe it means remembering why we decided to show up today with everything else you could be doing. Beautiful. One more breath. All the way in. All the way out. And then once more, we can inhale, lift up, open arms wide. And we're going to find our tabletop here, so hands and knees. And we'll take some cat-cows here. Inhale to drop the belly, looking up. Exhale to press the earth away from us with our hands and our knees and round through the back. So take a few like that. And here too, there is so much freedom to move as yourself. You can find creative ways to get into the spine, maybe wagging the hips a little side to side, and the head side to side as if you had a tail. Or maybe taking some circles with the head and the hips. So close your eyes, maybe even feel this out for yourself. Maybe practice listening to what it is your body needs today and moving accordingly. As you spend a little time here, I'll share with you a concept in yoga philosophy. It's known as the middle path. So this is a way of thinking that might help a lot of you. It certainly helped me, especially those of us who tend to live in extremes, right? That kind of all or nothing mindset. We're either doing the absolute most or we are completely bailing out and saying, screw it. If I can't do 100%, I'm not going to do anything. Or if I have a little slip up today, I'm going to say, screw this whole day. It's ruined, right? That kind of extremism. So from our tabletop, finish up what you're doing. If you're making circles, go ahead and take them in the other direction if you haven't already. And the middle path tells us that, there's an in-between space. There's that area where we are working, we are challenging ourselves, and we're doing things that are maybe uncomfortable so we can grow. But we're not causing pain. We're not burning ourselves out. We're not beating ourselves up to get to where we want to go. So anyway, with that thought in mind, I just thought I'd share that. As we're moving and breathing, let's inhale, lift left arm to the sky. So we're in a bit of a twist, and I like to move my wrist around here and wiggle my fingers. You might even try to wrap that left arm around your low back as you look up at the sky over your left shoulder. Inhale, left arm back up to the sky. And then exhale, weave it underneath your right. So that left arm's going to, through the eye of a needle, go underneath the right. Maybe sliding all the way down to the floor as your right elbow bends. Maybe the left side of your face comes down to the earth. This is just shoulder stretch too. You might wiggle walk your right fingertips out the front of you so you can look under your armpit like I'm looking at you now. Quite attractive. Remembering the breath. Some of us tend to really live in extremes a lot of the time. I know I can definitely relate to that. So you might ask yourself, what does that look like for me? Am I somebody who maybe lives in extremes? Do I work myself until I'm exhausted and depleted and snapping on my loved ones? Or am I maybe on the other end of the extreme? I find it so hard to get going. I know what I need to do, but I just feel stuck, too heavy to even approach those things. Maybe we go back and forth between both. Let's start to inhale, walk that right palm back in. Press into the right palm to lift left arm to the sky once more. And then come back down to our tabletop. So we're going to lift that left leg straight behind us. And just pause here. So I'm really pressing through every knuckle of my palms. I'm engaging through my low belly, kind of sucking those belly muscles in and up to support my low back as we kick strong through that left leg. So we're not moving a whole lot, but you can get a lot of heat, let's call it, in this position. So let's inhale, stretch that left leg behind us. And then exhale, we're going to draw left knee to our nose. Almost like that cat back, rounding through the spine. Inhale, kicking back. Maybe looking up, engaging in essence of that paddle back, dipping through the belly, and then exhale, knee to nose. So this is like a kneeling crunch. We're working the belly, working the whole back of the body. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Last time. You guys are doing awesome. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, release those toes. And just start to press through your palms. Pressing through the back heel to kind of stretch through the back of that leg. And you can inhale, shift forward on the back toes a bit. Exhale, press it back. Should feel kind of nice, I hope. Last time like that. And then coming back to hands and knees. Tabletop, little wag side to side. And we'll take the other side. We'll inhale our right arm to the sky this time. Maybe circling through the fingers and the wrist. So I'm somebody that lives in the extreme of maybe tending to push myself a little too hard. I have this need to do everything, to get everything done, and maybe do a little bit more and like screw my own needs. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Maybe. And so slowing down when I am not feeling well is something I have to be very conscious of. It doesn't come naturally to me. I tend to want to push it. Inhale, stretch that arm up one more time. And then exhale, leave it underneath, coming down onto the right shoulder this time. Maybe walking out those left fingertips. And so I really had to put that into practice this week. I had to say, you know what? You are not well. It makes sense to slow down. And so even though, let's say I wanted to get in my usual 30-minute workout, that was not what is best for me, even though I wanted to do it. So I didn't push myself to do that intense workout when I was sick. And I also didn't say, you know what, F it, I'm just not going to exercise at all. Because that's not super healthy either. Let's start to walk our left palm back in so we can press into it, lifting the right arm to the sky once more. And then release that palm down. We'll start to stretch our right leg back behind us this time. So I said, okay, what can I do? Maybe I don't have that whole 30 minutes of intensity in me, but I can do something. I know it's going to help me feel better to move my body a little bit. And so I would go for a walk outside. That was my compromise. That was my middle path this week. Engaging belly muscles, so you can relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. Maybe relax a thought that feels a little harsh or sharp. Then let's inhale to stretch that leg long, exhale knee to nose, taking those 3 crunches. Nice and slow. Try not to rush through this challenge. And what is your middle path? Maybe your middle path is skipping the crunches but not turning off the video. Maybe it's simply taking a break and breathing and rejoining when you're ready, or hitting pause. That's the nice thing about these videos. Exhale, knee to nose. Should be your 3rd one. So if you haven't already taken 3 and you'd like to, go ahead and finish up. Inhale, straighten that leg behind us. And then we're going to exhale, release the toes down and start to take those pulses. Another example I can think of is the concept of indulging in treats, right? We're in a health and weight loss program, and so we do talk about diet a lot. We're coming off the holidays. I know I definitely indulged a little bit and maybe went into the extreme of indulging too much, and perhaps that is why I got sick. I wasn't taking care of myself the way I normally do. Let's release it down, hands and knees. And maybe take a little shimmy shake side to side. You relax through the neck and head, roll it around a little bit. And we're going to come into a bigger full body stretch. We're going to take our down dog pose, okay? So I might need to mess with the camera. Let's see. How we're going to do it is from our tabletop, tuck the toes behind you. Spread the fingers comfortably wide so you can press through each knuckle of the hands. And from here, start to lift the knees slowly. So we'll eventually straighten the legs as much as possible. And you can keep a soft bend to the knees if needed. But we're working to make like an upside down V with our body. So the heels releasing towards the floor, head dangling between our upper arms and shoulders, seeing if you can press through those hands to relax the shoulders away from your ears and breathe. I know this is an intense stretch. Hold here if you can. We're going to spend a little time. And again, finding that healthy in-between, right? Not saying, screw it, I'm failing out of this is too hard. And not forcing ourselves until we break either. Not creating injury by pushing it too hard. Maybe the knees come down for a breath or 2, and then we get back into it when we're ready. You might bend one knee and relax the opposite heel down closer to the floor. And then switch sides, inhaling to switch, exhale, releasing the opposite heel. This is called walking the dog. If we're in a down dog, this is walking it. You guys are doing awesome. Let's take about 3 more breaths here. So if we go to the extreme of telling ourselves we can never eat, I don't know, cake again, wow. At some point, we might feel compelled to balance out by going to the other extreme, right? And eating like a whole cake at once because we feel so sad and deprived without it. That yo-yo back and forth between extremes is exhausting in my experience. It is not a super fun way to live. All right, you guys are doing so good. I know it's a lot. We've been here forever. So let's start to walk the feet slowly. You can bend your knees up to your hands. I'm gonna have to get creative about my camera. Sorry guys, really high-tech stuff over here. All right. Lovely. Hi. So I realize my head is cut off, but we have walked into a forward fold. There I am. I'm gonna have to play around with this for standing poses, so sorry guys. That's okay, you can still hear me, and this is not about looking at the video anyway. So enjoy your fold here. And again, knees can be softly bent. Maybe another little sigh or a shake of the head, yes and no. Let's inhale, bring our fingertips maybe to the tops of the feet or the shins or even on the thighs. And we're going to inhale, lift up halfway with the flat back. So inhale, lift through the chest, peeking up. And then exhale, fold back. Inhale, peek up, lift. Exhale, fold. Last time. Inhale, peek up. Flat back this time as we fold. Exhale, bring the fingertips down and step the left toes back. So we're going to keep the back knee lifted this time. We're in a low runner's lunge. And then start to circle around a little bit through that front hip. So you can just kind of shift your weight. It can be subtle, really small movements, forward and back, side to side, or yeah, maybe making some circles through that joint. Now let's take left hand inside the right foot and inhale, right arm to the sky. So once again, we're in a twist. And again, you might circle through the fingers and wrist. I like to circle my whole arm too, inhaling, reaching up. Exhale, sweeping it down like an air guitar kind of movement. Feels so good on my shoulder. One more big breath in. Find that center twist, arm to the sky. And then exhale, go ahead and gently lower that back knee, hands frame the foot. And we'll find our crescent pose. So you can paw your way up, palm by palm on that bent knee. Knitting the ribs together, drawing the belly in, again to protect our low back as we sink into that front thigh as much as possible. Feeling certainly a big stretch in the left quad. And then we can lift the arms up if that feels okay, or maybe just one. Whatever that middle path looks like for us. So coming back to that cake example, if eating a whole cake is not healthy at once, and never eating cake isn't healthy for us, right? Because it's going to trigger other things. Maybe we learn the middle path of eating a piece now and then when we really want it, and letting that be okay. Take one breath in, leaning back a little bit more. And then big move on the exhale. We're going to first frame the foot with our hands. Tuck the back toes. Lift that knee up. Remember to spin the back heel down. Okay, so the back leg is going to straighten. I'm going to step my back heel in a little bit to shorten the distance between my legs as I straighten my front leg. So hips are square as much as possible over that straight front leg, pressing into the back heel as we reach towards the front toes. Let your head be heavy, be shaping a little, yes and no, to relax the neck. This is called pyramid pose, big stretch through the legs. Exhale, bending into your front knee as much as you need to bring your fingertips or hands to the floor. We're going to step that back foot all the way up to meet the front leg. So we're back in our forward fold. I like to grab opposite elbows here and maybe sway a little side to side. You can open your feet a little wider if that's more comfortable. Yoga is a great example of the middle path. Just every kind of class pretty much. It's a balance naturally of working, doing some stuff that's pretty hard and we're going to challenge our muscles and our stamina, and then balancing it out with a stretch and some rest. All right, let's take those 3 lifts. Inhale, lifting through the chest, raising up. Exhale to lengthen the spine back down. Again, inhale, heart to the front of the room. Exhale, releasing down. Last time we lift, stretching through each vertebrae of the spine, growing longer. And then exhale, we'll ground palms or fingertips as we step the right leg back. Knee stays lifted. And we'll start to make some gentle circles or take those movements through the left hip. Moderation is another word that comes to mind when talking about the middle path. What can I do today and every single day? We can ask ourselves, okay, what can I do based on how I'm feeling, my circumstances, my energy level? What can I do in the direction of my goals? What's maybe one small thing or a couple of small things? Grounding through the right palm, lifting left arm to the side. Using some circles. If we have that attitude, if we approach every day and think, okay, I'm going to do one thing that's going to get me a little closer to where I want to go. Doesn't have to be everything. That's a little extreme. I don't have to get there overnight or change my whole life overnight. But I can take small actions every single day to the best of my ability. Go ahead and release that back knee gently down. And then swing the foot. You can untuck the back toes at this point if that feels better to you. And then, slowly make your way up. Maybe scooching that back knee back a little further. Maybe one arm lifts, maybe both as we engage the belly to protect the spine. As every day adds up. However you are feeling right now in this moment is a product. It is the result of everything you have done leading up to this moment. Think about that for a second. We are creating our future, how we're going to feel and how we're going to be, and what life is like with every single day that we live. So what kind of future are you wanting to create? And if you're loving how you're feeling right now, that is because of you. you're not loving how you're feeling so much, the good news is that you can start to change it. It is completely in your hands. So let's take one more inhale, and then exhale, release it. And swing the foot, knee swings back. Woo! Maybe a little shake of the hips. And then tell you what, let's lay all the way down onto our belly. So you can just kind of gently let yourself lower down. Bring elbows under your shoulders. So my hands or my forearms are making like a number 11 shape. Fingertips facing forward. And then I'm gonna squeeze. It's like your arms won't probably really move, but it's almost like you could drag your elbows back by your rib cage as you look up. That should pull the shoulders down away from the ears a bit and help you lift through your chest. Sphinx pose this is. It's a little bit of a back bend, and you might look over one shoulder and then the other. And then let's go ahead and lower all the way down onto your belly. Let your arms come out to the side like a cactus shape or like a goalpost shape. And start to draw your right knee up in towards your right elbow. So it's like you're making a 90-degree bend with both your elbow and your leg. And you can look to the right or the left, depending on what feels better for your neck. Just breathing here, remembering those deep breaths, feeling your belly and your chest press into the earth with every inhale. And your back expand. And starting to straighten out that right leg once more, turning your head in the opposite direction. And then your left knee out to the side. Straightening out through that left leg. You can start to bring your palms under your shoulders once more. Pressing yourself all the way up and back so that you can cross up the ankles, swing the legs through. And then let's come to lying on your back. So squeezing your knees into your chest when you get there, maybe making some circles with the legs. One way and then the other. And then let's take an inhale. All the way up, squeezing at the top. And exhale, sigh out into your final rest. Shavasana, arms and legs extend long to the side. So no more work left to do. You've done more than enough for today. Allow yourself some time to absorb it all. Enjoy your rest. slowly moving in, maybe with some gentle movements with hands and feet. I love a big giant juicy morning stretch with arms overhead. You can take your time, maybe rocking to one side, and pausing for a moment. And eventually pressing yourself up to a seat. And we'll bring our hands to heart center, closing your eyes, gentle bow of the head just to close up our practice. And end it with gratitude. Thanking yourself for taking this time, for showing up, and let's all continue to think about the middle path for the rest of this day. Showing up every day, doing the best we can, and also allowing for flexibility in that, and for some compassion for ourselves. So thank you guys so much. It's so good to be back with you, and I hope to see you all very soon.